I am grateful to be here this morning, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Reverend Kobia, for the strong and solid leadership you have provided to the Commission, because it's not a long time ago that the Commission was fully reconstituted after the end of the mandate of the previous Commission, and you hit the ground running. You have worked on completion of this strategic plan that we are launching here today. We are satisfied at the Ministry that the Commission has the right leadership, the right focus, and the right commitment to the right things, especially at this point in time in our country. Madam Deputy Chief Justice, I thank you for graciously agreeing to be our guest this morning to represent the Chief Justice in launching the strategic plan of NCIC. Our collaboration and work with the judiciary continues, and it's going to increase our pace as we go forward. All of us are members of the law enforcement chain, and we are grateful that as a country we've come so far because the relationship works, and we hope that it continues to work. Since inception, NCIC has done a tremendous work. We are particularly happy with the work that you are doing in northern Kenya, parts of the Rift Valley, especially in Narok County, where we have witnessed successful work in bringing communities together. I am particularly grateful for the work that you are doing in the northeastern part of our country, the work that chairman and commissioners you are doing in Marsabit, and how we are working together, even in dealing with issues related to the Amaya Triangle and addressing local intercommunity challenges that would otherwise disrupt peace and stability in that part of our country. As I said, the stability of our country and the peace that we must maintain is our collective responsibility. It's part of our citizenship responsibility. It is not the government responsibility alone, it's not NCIC's responsibility alone, it is not the judiciary's responsibility alone to keep our country stable, peaceful, and cohesive. It is our collective responsibility. And our gathering here today, Mr. Chairman, and the work that you do and the coalition that you have built across the country is evidence of that realization. And that realization is going to become even much more important as we move forward to the period ahead of us. I'm grateful that looking at the strategic plan, you have aligned it to the key policy instruments of government, Vision 2030, the third medium-term plan, the Big Four agenda, Africa Agenda 2063, and the fact that you are not planning outside of the framework and the context in which we are working and the government is working. But let me say this, in all honesty, we can write all these nice things, work on nice plans, but if we don't have the right attitude and commitment to keep our country stable and peaceful, we will still get into problems as we go forward. So I am going to make my first call to you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the NCIC Commission, that now, once again, we are being called upon to work with our colleagues across the law enforcement agency to ensure that we support our country to go through a peaceful, fair elections. I agree with you that I think now we are focusing on elections bila norma. Elections without some of the challenges we've had in the past. But even more urgent and more important is the fact that we need to also educate our people so that these elections also do not become perfunctory exercises in the pretended form of living in a democratic environment. They should also lead to our people participating fully, effectively, and meaningfully, and changing their lives meaningfully by choosing good leaders. So those of us in the public service, including you in the commission, will face an additional responsibility of encouraging our people to focus on issues during these campaigns, to focus on the welfare of our country and the future of our country, to reduce the challenges we have had before, focusing on things that are of no value anymore, ethnicity, money, and so on and so forth, to focus on choosing leaders who will make a difference in our lives as we move forward. On our part as government, and speaking on behalf of my colleagues in the security sector, I want to assure the country one more time that we will do our part. And this time, we are even much more prepared than we were in 2017 and 2013 to play our role, and we will play our role effectively. This country is a democracy. The people of Kenya have chosen, we have chosen to be a democratic society. The preamble of our constitution starts with, we the people. We the people have decided to be a democratic environment. We are a democracy by choice. It was not imposed on us. What that means is that our responsibility as government is to uphold freedoms, and we will uphold individual freedoms. We will uphold collective freedoms. We will respect rights, including freedom of speech. It's our responsibility to protect the Constitution as established. And therefore, my colleagues in the security sector know this. We've had so many conversations with the Inspector General of Police. We had a meeting a week ago with the national government administrators, and we have agreed and vowed we are going to play our part in ensuring that Kenyans enjoy the freedoms that have been provided for in our Constitution. They do not need our permission to do that. But at the same time, we will enforce responsibility and accountability dutifully, without fear or favor. In some cases, we will be fairly ruthless when it comes to those who interfere with the freedoms of others or those who engage in activities that are likely to mess up our country. And we will not hesitate, neither will we be intimidated by any pressures or any complaints from anybody. We will protect this country because this is our only home on earth. So, as I've told my colleagues in the communication sector, vernacular radio stations, those of us who have already fallen into the temptation of misusing social media and the internet, Kenya is a mature country. We've come a long way. We are not going to do those things that people do in other places on earth, like turn off the internet or switch off Twitter. Those ones will not happen in Kenya, not in this country. This is a confident government that is governing confidently because we know we have the support of the people. So we are not going to harass people or do those kinds of things that break the law or interfere with the freedoms of the people. And because we are a confident government, we will live and act according to the law. We'll protect freedoms, but at the same time, we'll call people to account. So those who break the law, we will ensure that we arrange a good meeting between you and the law, so that as we move forward, we can be a peaceful and stable environment as we go forward. So finally, Mr. Chairman, you know we have formed a multi-agency team. We are meeting together now to start now the countdown to elections. We have mapped the country, looked at hotspots, areas where we are likely to face certain challenges. My colleagues in the police department have done the same. We are looking at where we need what kind of resources in terms of personnel and deployment to be sure that every Kenyan is protected and they exercise their rights freely. We will work together. And I urge you, Reverend Kobia, to also stay the course as you have promised. We want to have, as your motto says, one nation, one people, one destiny. Let's remain together as one people. And any threats to that vision should be met with the full force of the law. Let's collect the information that we need. Cases of hate speech will be prosecuted, and we will work together with those others who have responsibilities to ensure that we enforce the law. So I wish you well, and I must say, actually, if I may take advantage of this opportunity, of how proud I am to be associated with this institution because of the strong leadership that Reverend Kobe and the commissioners have provided. And we will work together with you as you move forward to ensure that this strategic plan is not only implemented, but we realize the vision of keeping our country peaceful and stable as we go forward. May God strengthen your hand for the good work ahead. May God bless you so that you remain steadfast. Stand on the precepts of the truth, and I believe God will hold our hands as we move our country to the next level. And these elections will just be an event in our democratic life, and we will prove to ourselves and the world that we have come of age, that the story of Kenya continues because Kenyans took the right decision to give themselves a solid constitution, a responsible government, and confident leaders who are ourselves and who have this opportunity to make that difference. So I thank you, and with those remarks, it is my distinct honor and pleasure